Social media provide a medium for the public to discuss and debate on issues. However, it is not an efficient platform for performing these two functions, so it is used in a rather small extent. Firstly, it is due to the nature of social media. People usually use social media for socializing and entertainment. As a result, they tend to avoid fierce arguments with their friends and families. The discussion is not deep enough to provoke the thoughts of publics. A research conducted by the International Communication Association in 2013 also indicated that people wanted to avoid upsetting others or getting into arguments on such social platforms. Also, for some social media, there is an automatic post-selection system according to the user's preference, which is a kind of framing. The mode of discussion is also a factor rendering social media a less effective platform for discussions and debates. Usually, people of a different stance cannot join the discussion, as the discussions and debates mainly contain people of the same stance only. It is likely to cause an irrational argument between the two parties or a polarized discussion which contains similar opinions only. This cannot facilitate the exchange of opinions between different parties, thus it is not considered as a good platform for discussions and debates.
Many organizations such as the Voice of Loving Hong Kong silent majority open pages to disseminate pro-government commentary on news, especially on the 3rd of July in 2014. An organization called the Alliance for Peace and Democracy was established, which is one of the major anti-umbrella movement organizations. During the preparation of the umbrella movement, the Alliance for Peace and Democracy adopted form of protest and collect signatures from citizens to show their thoughts starting from the 19th of July. And on the 2nd of August is also launched an online signature activity intending to cover more people with better expressing their voice. In this case, social media was used as a supplement of offline activity because of its timeliness, fast speed, and wide coverage. For the online and offline interactions between the two sides, online social media is used for organizing activities by setting up Facebook events or informing others the details of the activities. Through the online interactions, people can express their own views, but a rational online discussion platform is hard to achieve. Meanwhile, the online interactions involve more verbal violence as shown in the Facebook comments from Apple Daily. On the other hand, offline interactions is about the fulfillment for those pre-organized events which involve more physical violence as shown in the photos.
Our stance is that social media could foster and escalate the scale of Occupy Central, but not necessarily cause it to happen. The primary goal of Occupy Central from the onset is to demand for the full suffrage in the 2016 LACO election and 2017 chief executive election. However, it is a complex issue. People's desire for real universal suffrage is actually due to their discontent towards an injustice society, which is the sum of ensuing social problems. Social media have three main functions in the occurrence of Occupy Central. First, enable quick communication between users. One of the turning points of Umbrella Revolution is that police threw tear gas grenades to the protesters. Social media facilitates real-time citizen journalism and made the news widespread immediately. This aroused the mass indignation. After some time of fermentation in the social media, the number of protesters reached 200,000. This shows the great mobilizing power of the social media. Second, lower the cost for users to engage in social events. The entertaining function of social media entails the frequent use of social media. Users get information about current affairs of Hong Kong as a byproduct. Facebook pages of newspapers become a popular way for people to keep track of everyday information. Some media, like 100 Most, even report on news in a fun style. This again lowers the cost for people to engage in the public affairs and in some sense fosters the spread of discontent towards the HKSAR before the occurrence of Occupy Central. Third, deflect participants' political stance. Teenagers, the largest component of Occupy Central, tend to be deflected by the others through social media. There's the proliferation of people changing profile pictures to yellow ribbon, sharing posts about Occupy Central. Friends of them thus may be deflected to the same stand due to in-group favoritism. However, though social media play an eminent role in the event, it is believed that Occupy Central would also have occurred without the existence of social media, as Hong Kong has a large degree of freedom of speech and professionalism of journalism. People still can read news from different media online, which could also lead to discontent towards the HKSAR. For example, Benny Tai's article exploring the possibility of Occupy Central was posted in Hong Kong Economic Journal in 2013. This shows that without social media, the idea of Occupy Central can still be made public. But, of course, the idea would reach less people due to increased cost of watching news.
First, social media provides the public a low-cost platform in a large scale for a lot of people to freely exchange their ideas in anywhere at any time they want. Second, it's quick, fast, and instant, enabling information to be shared faster than any time in human history. The online platform solves the problems of offline discussions involving a lot of people and gives people more flexibility in exchanging ideas. Weaknesses. First, the unprivileged classes are excluded from such platform. Only literate people with internet devices in internet-covered countries can access to social media. The illiterate, poor, and elderly are often left out by the social media. Second, although some of those who can access social media can share whatever they want, not all of them are equally heard and listened to. Social media like Facebook shows you the posts based on the number of followers, likes, and views, leaving out the ones that may be insightful yet unpopular among the crowd. Search engines are also inclined towards websites with high visit volume, which is usually dominated by a few websites. Certain features of the social media impede free expression of ideas. Facebook users have to like a respective homepage to receive its updates. Some people who are critical and willing to accept opposite opinions explain how they were unable to like that homepage because it doesn't align with their position and they cannot force themselves to like the homepage. Twitter has a 140 words limit per post, deterring more thorough and careful analysis into debatable subjects. Also, the anonymity afforded by other media networks like blogs enabled negative interactions like flaming and cyberbullying.
Strong fragmentation exists among different major voice groups. According to the echo chamber theorem, people tend to seek political information that is aligned with their beliefs or discuss political issues and candidates with citizens who are also in support of those issues and candidates. And the citizens of different groups thus lose chance to gain knowledge or understanding to the other side. This actually does harm to original role of public sphere to encourage conversation or the consensus of achievement. On the social media platform, cyberbullying is a main block that discourages rational debate or discussion. According to a survey done by the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups conducted in 2009, among the 10 to 24 age group, 22.7% of the participants admitted to have cyberbullied others in the past year. More importantly, 35.3% of them reported to have known that some online behaviors are against the rule, but they would continue, thinking it's nearly impossible to be caught online. Cyberbullying will both discourage critical expression and evaluation of ideas, resulting in a chaotic online public sphere. Lack of media literacy. Media literacy refers to the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and create media. Modern citizens vary a lot in their media literacy level, and there remain a huge population that are not media literate and easy to take to bias or unreasonable information. In this way, the mass information in social media may make it even easier for them to fall short on a thorough critical thinking process. Although Hong Kong has taken media education into general education, the blank of media literacy among people is still significant.
Among the weaknesses discussed above, most of them are actually human weaknesses. Education is definitely an indispensable long-term step to help men overcome their inherent and irrational weaknesses, which promotes greater tolerance towards opposite arguments, more rational and healthy discussions and debates. The education system should promote critical thinking at all stages continuously, rather than simply teaching a course about critical thinking and leaving it alone. This provides a base of media literacy and helps develop media literacy. Second, in the short term, restrictions can be placed on certain content of speech like cursing and pornography to avoid unhealthy discussions such as flaming and cyberbullying. Violated accounts or IP addresses can be frozen for a few days at first for alert, and progression punishments can be given based on the severity of the incident. Reporting of such violations and whistleblowers are encouraged to help maintain a rational public sphere. This can, in a sense, force people to refute with reason and appropriate arguments instead of abusing the online sphere.
Third, the lack of access in less developed nations can be solved through improved infrastructure. For example, in 2013, Facebook launched Internet Organization, a project to bring, as it says, the benefits of connectivity to the 2/3 of the world that doesn't have them. Since then, it has agreed deals with telecoms groups in 38 countries to provide free basics, a stripped-down version of the internet for mobile phone owners who would otherwise be unable to pay for the data. Fourth, the society should teach the elderly how to access the internet and use the social media to express their ideas freely.